7 races to go. 42 points is the gap, and it's the 7th inning stretch. It's the 2-minute warning, and it's the final countdown. Welcome along to Austin, Texas for round 18 out of 24 of the Breakout Racing League Tier 2 Championship and the United States Grand Prix. We arrive in Austin, Texas, in the United States, a country that is ranked 4th in the world in landmass, but only 3rd for population. Well, this race includes 7 out of the 20 drivers here tonight for their home Grand Prix. It means so much to return back home in league racing and in IRL. It'll be a spectacle to watch, and we cannot wait. Let's talk about the circuit then. The Circuit of the Americas has 20 corners, 11 to the left and 9 to the right, which makes up the 5.5 kilometer, 3.4 mile distance. The circuit has 2 DRS zones, one in the turn 1 and the other in the turn 12 at the end of the long straight. This allows for top speeds among 325 kph, and with the average lap speed about 208 kilometers per hour and 59% of the circuit taken at full throttle, the circuit is quick indeed. The quick nature of the circuit will call for some grip. Pirelli have brought the C4, C3, and the C2 tire compounds, with the C4 being the redwood soft tire, the C3 being the yellowwood medium, and the C2 being the whitewood hard tires. Well, the intermediates and full wets are available to the drivers if they need to. Well, right now, it's clear and sunny in the Circuit of the Americas, and it's going to be dry for qualifying. As of right now, we'll see about the race in a few minutes' time. I said the gap was 42 points between Swellerstein and Wraith. Let's take a look at the rest of the championship. Gerbil sits 3rd, 69 points away. He's not too far away from the championship gap himself. Tone Lisseth in the Ferrari sits 4th. Heatwave goes up a position from a week ago. And Suzuka, he gets past No Limit to 5th. No Limit in the McLaren drops down to 6th. Mozzie sits 7th. He needs to outscore Wraith or Tweaking. Most specifically, Sweller. And by the way, DeBiz goes around. He needs to outscore Sweller by about 14 points if he wants to stay in the championship. Because, yes, it's closing in, and we cannot wait. It's going to be a spectacle to watch for the remaining 7 rounds of the season. Tweaking, he is out of the championship contention now because of him not being here for tonight's race. He is out for the championship, along with everyone behind him. Veyron sits 9th. Calzoner sits 10th, with Silkweaver sits in 11th, with Roscoe Arm in 12th. Masterplay and Groggy, Matt Silva, Ryan Hurricane, Radicus, DeBiz, and Renan Morale rounds out the top 20. Let's take a look at the Constructors' Championship then. Alfa Romeo, they sit 111 points ahead over Ferrari in 2nd. 331 points to their name, Ferrari 220. Aston Martin sits 7 points behind. So this man, Botch Turbo, is going to try to capitalize on the fact that Tweaking's not there. Hopefully having his teammate Masterplane can try to go close up to Ferrari for 2nd. But they have to worry about Red Bull behind him. Wraith is the only Red Bull here tonight, but they're only 6 points behind Aston Martin. It could be close between those as well. McLaren sit 5th. There is no McLarens on the grid tonight, with AlphaTauri 73 points behind him. No issue there between McLaren and AlphaTauri. Mercedes 28 points behind AlphaTauri, with Alpine sitting in 8th, 26 points behind Mercedes. Williams sit 8 points behind Alpine. They could possibly put up a contention, but there are no Williams here tonight. Well, Haas has 2 drivers on the grid, and they sit in the 10th position in the Constructors' Championship. Now I'm Heckhatcher joined alongside by LDR Redeemer once more. Now, for many drivers, it's their home Grand Prix. So, how does that really affect their mindset going in? I just saw that.
So, I'm wondering if he was blocking pit exit, but continue on what you were saying. Sorry.
That's exactly what happened. Heatwave's been disqualified from qualifying for blocking pit exit. So the AlphaTauri will start 12th. It's already been drama, and we haven't even gone into qualifying much. No laps have been set, and it's already going to be chaos. And by the way, I was going to say about the home Grand Prix for a lot of these drivers. How did that affect them? Well, so far for Heatwave, it's not going out too well.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it in Tier 4 and Tier 3, the home drivers or home field advantage, you would think. But this track, it's very technical to get right, especially for these drivers in these cars. I raced here last night in Tier 4, especially in Sector 1 when your tires start to lose grip. There is no way to take that like you normally do, which was actually built after Beckett's and Chapel Complex in Silverstone. Fun fact a little there that you didn't throw in, which I thought you would have. Yeah, as we're on board, I'm on board with Mozzie going into turn 15, coming into the triple right under another tricky corner. When your tires do start to get worn, you can take it nice and flat. Coming into turn 19 now, careful not to invalidate, going too wide, keeps it nice and tidy on entry and exit. Coming into the final braking corner zone, he's going to hit the throttle of DRS, he's going to keep it on the left side, he's going to set a 32.4. excuse me as I'm going to burp. I believe Haas is next. That is wrong. It is going to be Boss Gerbil coming across the line next.
Yes, he is. He's 69 points back from the championship, but that man, Mozzie, he needs to outscore, like I said earlier.
Wow.
Sweller's team by 14 points. And right now, he's beaten Boss Gerbil by about 5 milliseconds, so he's got off to a good start.
The next is going to be Calzone, followed by Master Plane. Calzone's going to come out of the final corner. He's going to go up the P3. Master Plane coming into the final corner. Coming out, he's going to hit the DRS. He's going to come across the line. He's going to settle right behind his teammate. I believe Veyron is backing off on this lap. He's on an out lap, excuse me. Oh, Sweller's
Next
team.
one to the line is going to be Sweller. Yep.
I'll let you take it away.
Big championship leader himself. Go for it.
Yes, Fritzy, if you're watching stream, I'll be in fat.
Yeah, so basically, it's ironic that you chose this race to have that little talk beforehand, by the way. The American Grand Prix. Redeemer's got himself some McDonald's, so if you're going to watch the tune in to the BRL race here at the United States Grand Prix, might as well grab yourself a snack and some food as well. Well, the championship leader, Sweller's team, he goes up to provisional pole by about 3/10 over his teammate, and by the way, Mozzie, Boss Gerbil, Master Plane, all within a tenth of each other. Now, Sweller's team makes that a little bit more of a gap between first to second.
Also, just as an update, I had a weather report from Gruggy right on the Alpine. They're going sprint tonight.
Oh!
What just happened?
DeBiz spun across the line and kind of style points for the Haas, but he was 3 seconds off on his medium lap time. Now, go ahead. What'd you say?
We're going swimming tonight here in Coda.
Oh, we are? It's going to be a rain race?
Yeah, that's what Gruggy said. He said it's light rain to heavy rain to light rain to dry.
Shades of, I guess, 15? 16?
15.
That was like the first time. I don't... Well, the 1 second I cut away. DeBiz goes around. Veyron goes provisional pole by 12 milliseconds over the Alfa Romeo. Sweller, he's not in the championship fight anymore, but, you know, it still doesn't hurt to push as hard as you can and get the best you can. Obviously joining a little bit late.
Again. That's another thing about this circuit and Sector 1. It's very easy to invalidate because you're trying to push and get the most out of the tires and, you know, try to be the quickest as you can. But trying to keep it within the track limits in this game is a little bit tricky.
Yes, it will. We'll get to the penalty situation a little bit later on, but that is going to be one thing to worry about the entire United States Grand Prix, especially with the rain. It's going to help out the track limits a little bit, make it a little bit more lenient. But right now in qualifying, all dry, so it's going to be stricter track limits. And so far, that's what? And that's entering turn 14.
That is exit of 14. That is where I spun last night.
You'd be wrong.
What?
Regardless, he's out of session, and will be at maximum P8. And, well, if it is a wet start, he's going to be kicking himself here. Okay, now we can just share the McDonald's. You got some for the class?
Sorry.
Roscoe, around the final corner. In the AlphaTauri, he goes up to 7th. About 5 milliseconds, I'm sorry, 500ths off of Calzone in 6th.
Again, make sure you enjoy every last drop, you know what I mean? As Groggy is actually, he's actually 5 cents down. 5 seconds down on his time.
Till the stat, by the way, the Suzuka winner went purple sector 1. The Ferrari is flying. He has 2 more sectors to go. Let's have a little chat here. Who do you think is going to win this race? Let's have it a little bit earlier, predictions-wise. And he's gone again.
Can I not finish the
right.
last by McFlurry in peace?
No, you can't. Purple sector 2 for Toneless Death. The
Being
Ferrari's one
bullied, I
sector
can't
away.
eat my
Can he go
food,
provisional
please.
pole? Well, don't bring your food to a job, mate. Finish it beforehand.
You know what? I'm sorry, okay?
That's what
I drove there, I drove back, I ate really quickly, and I thought you'd be happy that I at least made it to one of the last 3 races.
Nothing's good enough for me ever, Redeemer. You should know that by
You
now.
know what? I will
Don't
send you
listen.
like 7 packs of Monster.
I'd be happy with that. Turn this at the Ferrari. Does he go provisional pole? Yes, he does. That's the time they're going to be chasing after. A 10th and 27 milliseconds.
Calzone is crossing the line to start his next flying lap. I believe Roscoe is on an in lap. Oh, who's that?
That was an
Master
Aston
Plane.
Martin. Yeah, I saw him. I saw them. Aston Martin Master Plane kind of lose the car exit of turn 1.
Dribble has invalidated. Mozzie's kept the lap clean. Coming into 16, 17, 18. Coming into turn 19. He's gonna. Oh, it's just gonna be invalidated. He's gonna dive it
That's
into
just going to be a
the
story
pits.
of tonight is invalidations and penalties as well. So whoever gets the less amount of penalties is probably going to be the one coming at, I guess, the top step of the podium. So that's going to be interesting to see tonight. Well, qualifying has about 6 minutes, 30 seconds left to go. Calzone's on a flying lap down the back straightaway. Toneless Death could be on a second run, or he could be going into the pit lane. That will be determined in a few moments' time. But the Mercedes here losing the car a little bit in the exit of turn 12, but right now he is sitting P10 in the championship behind his teammate, Bayron. And, well, Redeemer, you're kind of distracting, dude.
Sorry.
Oh, Calzone's around. Turn 15. So that lap, if it was improved, not anymore.
Okay, I'm done.
Wraith, he now is on a flying lap once more down in the turn 12. He has yet to set a time. One of the only drivers, actually the only driver who is so far in the session that has yet to set a time. Heatwave was disqualified for blocking the pit lane exit, and DeBiz crashed in about right here. So far, Wraith is the only one yet left to set the time. So what can he do? He's 42 points back from the championship lead, and that being Swellow's team. He sits third. So the Red Bull needs to start closing in. 7 rounds, including this one to go. There's still plenty of time. About 184 points left on the table. But he needs to get a move on. Down the final corner he goes. Wow.
On board with Sweller at the end of Sector 1, he was negative 2.2 up on his lap time coming into turn number 12. See what he is through the Sector 2 split. He is 0.2 up, more like 0.3 up. I'm going to round it up just because I can. Coming into turn 15, very easy to lock up that left front tire in that corner. That's a nice exit now through the triple right-hander where I believe in 2016 it was Kimi Max where Max got the penalty. Turn 19
Well,
kept
on his time, he should be up by about a 5/10 or so. Does he keep it? He's
Well,
3,
squarely on
almost 4
exit,
tenths down.
and
He
there he
goes
goes.
provisional pole.
This Calzone is invalidated. Roscoe is on mediums. Is Roscoe trying to go quicker on mediums, I wonder?
He could be. So right now, the championship as it plays out, Sweller would once again be ahead of Wraith. I actually believe for only his, I can't remember how many poles he has. I'll go see. I have that to my disposal.
Gardy flies up in turn 1. Kind of an iconic turn 1 if you think about it, because you're doing uphill braking, so the car is actually going to work with you, but it's also going to work against you with the maximum downforce that these cars have. This car is going to get a little bad run through Sector 1 there. I almost lost my breath through that sentence. It's not okay. But I did it again. Gardy only a 10th up through Sector 1. Left of me, sorry. Coming down into turn number 11 before we hit the back straight. He's going to brake. Slight lock up on the left front. He's going to miss the apex. It's going to be crucial. He's going to lose a little bit of time, plus a little bit of wheel spin. He's going to hit the DRS. He's flying down the back straight now as we hit the sunlight. Here in late afternoon in Austin, Texas, but it's really closer to 8:30 my time in Eastern. There's the yellow flag for one of the outflows. I don't know who that is. Groggy is 2.5 tenths up on his lap time. Through turn 14, very easy on the throttle. He's going to do it into 15. Blocks up again. He misses the apex. It's going to cost him a little bit more time. After the triple right-hander of 16, 17, 18, he's going to go very wide on exit of the triple right. Through 19, keeps it nice and tidy. Into turn 20, he's going to brake. No lockups for the moment. He's going to keep it in fourth. Hit the gas, hit the DRS. He's going to improve on his time, but not his position. I believe he's on for another lap.
He may be, but he needs to get and move on if he wants to get his laps gone, because right now it's the money time. 2 minutes, 10 seconds left to go in the session. It's time to see who has the best lap across Coda. Right now it's Sweller's team ahead of Wraith, ahead of Toneless, ahead of Veyron, ahead of Mozzie. Both Aston Martins of Gerbil, then Masterplane, Calzoner, Roscoe, and Groggy all rounded out the top 10 with DeBiz and Heatwave both out of the session already. DeBiz crashing out and Heatwave being disqualified for blocking the pit lane exit. So now, Mozzie's on a flying lap. He's going to be the first one, the first challenger. This is going to race he needs to do well in. If he wants to stay in the championship hunt, he needs to outscore his teammate by about 14 points to stay in. Can he do it?
Yeah, I stayed on board with Groggy. He is on another flyer, but I don't think he's going to have the ERS to play with. Come across the line, he's actually a tenth and a half down on his time through the second sector, so not a good second run from the Alpine driver. See if he can find anything here in the third sector.
That would put him P10, as it were. But obviously, since it's going to be most likely a wet start, it looks like it may not matter the tire they start on. But here comes Mozzie around. It's then Bull Corner. 18. 19. Does Groggy improve? No, he doesn't. He pits. Here comes Mozzie. The first one to go across the line. He may have another lap if he does one. But will he do it, though? It doesn't matter. Mozzie to the line. He knows he needs to get a good start for this race. He does not improve his position, but he does his time a bit. Calzona will be the next one across the line. He's down in turn 12. I'm sorry, 11. A lot of drivers in that first sector. Look at that. Both Aston Martins behind them. I believe that is the Ferrari of Toneless Death. Then you have the Alpha Tauri of Roscoe. Then you have the Red Bull of Wraith. Then you have Sweller's team and the Alfa Romeo. Actually, I believe Sweller's team was rolling across the start-finish line, but that was a little bit of a wheel from Calzoner. But checkered flag flies. The session is over, and it's time to see your laps done in that swiggle and that little bit of issue and oversteer for Calzoner through 13. Will that cost him a chance at a higher starting grid spot? Through 19, almost loses the car. And a 20. For the Mercedes driver, can he improve his position? He's currently P8. He stays P8. He doesn't improve. The next one across the line will be an Aston Martin. That being Masterplane ahead of his teammate, Bot Sturble. Masterplane, he needs to improve his time. Can he do it? He's down in 7th right now. 9/10 off a pole position. Aston Martin needs to take the fight to Ferrari. Toneless Death right now, we're in 3rd. Can Masterplane put his Aston Martin up on the front row? Can he put it in the top 5? Masterplane goes up to 6th, only by 1 position. But what can Bot Sturble do? He goes to the line. He doesn't improve. Backing off, I believe, is Mozzie. To the line goes Roscoe. He goes up to 2nd. I'm sorry, to 3rd. Wraith, he goes up to pole by about 4/10. What can Toneless Death do in the Ferrari? He goes up to 2nd. Sweller's team's going to be the next one to come across the line. Behind Veyron. Veyron goes up to 4th. Can the championship leader hold on? Can he find about 4/10 of a second to go catch up to Wraith? He does not. Wraith is on pole for the 9th time this season at the United States Grand Prix.
I should have brought more food.
Yes, you should. Wraith comes home to take his 9th pole of the season ahead of Sweller's team's championship rival. The hunt is on for Wraith to catch Sweller's team. 7 rounds to go. He needs to get 42 points. Toneless Death of the Ferrari. He sits 3rd. He won a week ago. Can he replicate that? It's going to be a wet start most likely. Can he do it from the 2nd row of the grid alongside Veyron and the Mercedes? The Alpha Tauris, Roscoe in 5th. Mozzie in 6th. Remember, he needs to outscore his teammate by 14 points. That cannot be stressed enough if he wants to stay in this championship battle going into Mexico a week from now. Masterplane in 7th, out-qualified spots Gerbil. Calzoner in 9th, Groggy Regular rounds out the top 10. DeBiz crashed out in qualifying, and Heatwave was disqualified for blocking the pit lane exit. But that's the classification for the United States Grand Prix. The race is next, and we can't wait.
I hope these guys brought their ring jackets with them.
I would hope so.
As I'm sitting at the restart the screen. Oh, there it goes.
Well, it's going to be fun. United States Grand Prix. A lot of storylines. Home Grand Prix for Toneless Death, Masterplane, Gargi Oregano, Heatwave. It'll be fun. Who wins it?
One of them.
Good.
Good answer, Seth.
Good. I think you would honestly not go well in betting. So, Redeemer, who would win this? Who would win this sporting event? A driver. Okay.
What
about this one?
Like,
a team.
It's like $5 on each person.
Yeah. It's like it goes up to the Bahrain Grand Prix for the 2022 season for F1. All right. Who do you have betting on a driver? I bet it on all 20. You what? You heard me right.
I think it was 2020. I don't know if you remember, but at Monza, the guy made a bet on who was going to win the race and the podium, and he got it right. And I think he won, if I remember correctly, like 15 million pounds or some ridiculous number like that. Because he literally put Pierre Gasly, Sainz, and who was third that race?
Stroll?
No, I thought it was Perez.
No, Stroll.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he made that predicament, and he won like 18 million pounds.
Something like that.
It was, Speller, you hit a little bit squirrely. It's the information lap.
He's just testing the grip levels of the tire and the conditions. He'll get over to it. But it's the formation lap for the United States Grand Prix. Circuit of the Americas. 20 corners, 12 drivers. It's going to be a lot of fun. No DRS. So that's going to be all up to driver skill. You need to be significantly a lot faster to get past, especially in the wet here. So be watch out for that turn 1 and turn 12 braking zones. It is a lot more difficult here in the wet than it is in the dry. 230 meters from the grid to turn 1. The driver that gets the better traction off the line and off the grid is going to be the one most likely trying to charge for that lead spot in turn 1. We've had a lot of chaotic starts here in tier 2, and a lot of them could come at Coda once again. We had one a season ago. We had one 2 seasons ago. And every season before that, Circuit of the Americas has a perfect, I guess, movie script level start line in the run of the turn 1. It's chaotic, it's wide, and it narrows. It's going to be fun to see how the drivers negotiate it through in lap 1.
I
Driver
actually think Mexico is better. It's literally the start,
shut up your opinion.
And then...
I'm kidding.
That hurts.
Yeah, I know. It actually is I actually quite enjoy the Mexico start one.
Because like, you think about it, it's the start, and then it's everyone jostling for position like the drag race.
And then there's like a tight hairpin.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, right now, we have to see if we can get through Coda to get into Mexico. The last 5 races, or 5 of the last 9, have been won from pole position. So Wraith is going to want to do his best to make it, well, 6 of the last 10. Last race winner here was our championship winner, Ritzy in the Alfa Romeo. He locked it up a race from now in Mexico a season ago. Will it be Sweller coming home victorious this time? But penalties, like I said, will be the talking point. Out of the 13 that finished that race, 10 had penalties. 77% of the grid had a time penalty that season ago. So it could be definitely the same here.
How do you remember
with
all
the track
of
limits?
this?
I write it down.
Okay, well, you can more prepare than I do because they just show up and talk.
Well, You'll get your chance to show up and talk in a few seconds' time. We'll go to Heatwave as he goes to his grid spot. And we'll go from 12th to 1st. From one Honda-powered car to the other. Everything is bigger in Texas. We'll see how big it really is. And it's lights out and away we go for a rain-filled United States Grand Prix. Heatwave get a pretty good start off the line. He's already going to be clear of Swiller's team down in the turn one. Side by side with Veyron and Tony Lesteth around the outside. The Ferrari sweeps on both cars and you go off the track. But it's going to be right that is Swiller ahead of Tony Lesteth. He's going to be jockeying for position. Look at Mozzie and Veyron. Wheel to wheel into 2, into 3 in a few seconds time. Then you have Roscoe, Gerbil, Groggy, Oregano up a couple of positions. Calzone gets up a position, battling with Heatwave down in the pack. They're almost wheel to wheel. They get backling off. It's going to be kind of an easy start here because the rain is going to start drizzling down a little bit harder.
Around.
Well, I said it was a calm start, and then Calzone looped it.
But
with help from him.
around as well.
Oh, what has happened here?
I don't know, Calzone and
Gerbil and Calzone are around.
Side by side, I think it's in the 5. And it didn't work. And then Calzone spun, DeBiz got caught up in it, and then I don't know what happened to Boss Gerbil.
Well, there's plenty of time for
Well,
him to regain that position. But speaking of position, Veyron.
He's going to get the move done. Thomas is going to let him have it. He knows there's a longer race than just lap 1.
Now he moves up to 3rd.
The Swiller's team is actually just knocking on the door of Wraith, letting him know he is still here.
Remember, Wraith needs to actually improve and outscore Swiller's team to try to close back in that gap. As it stands, he would gain about 7 points, not counting the fastest lap, on the Alfa Romeo. Put that gap down to 35 going into Mexico in a week's time. That'll be crucial for his championship fight. But now that would be, well, 8 points because that fastest lap. But look at this, breaking the slipstream. Swiller's team closing in on the Red Bull. The Alfa Romeo looking around the long way around at turn 1. Pitting Calzone DeBiz. Switchback for the Alfa Romeo, trying to get past Wraith as quick as he possibly can. No DRS this time, so Wraith is going to be licking his chops. He's trying to stay ahead. The Swiller's team wants to get past and wants to get that lead of the race.
Yeah, we're looking at Veyron too. He's also predicting down Swiller's team's neck, so gonna have to be interesting to see on what these guys do and how they play out this race.
Where do these guys make that move? Calzone DeBiz, Box Gerbil all in the pit lane, but look at Veyron, he's closing in. We're now with no DRS, and maybe a little bit of incentive to go for this move. He does go for the move down to that 11. He gets the position, but look at the switchback. Swiller to the right-hand side. They're even. They're going to have a drag race down this long straightaway. Down into turn 12. Both drivers, a little bit of an advantage to the McLaren. Go ahead. Wheel once more.
Veyron's gonna get it. He's gonna be apex, but the Sweller's gonna have the switchback possibly. As he does, he's gonna get better traction out of 13 into 14, now into 15. And Veyron's gonna get the move done as he had the apex.
Now he has to chase after the Red Bull. 3/10 in front of him. Masterplane gets past Heatwave, battle for 8th.
Heatwave doesn't have any damage. I'm wondering if he's just taking it slow.
Veyron sets the fastest lap at the Grand Prix. He's on a charge. Will he try to go for the move on Wraith? As Swiller tried to do a lap ago. No, he doesn't. He thinks back. And, well, kind of thinks better of it. Going down into turn 1, kind of biding his time. A long race to go. 26 more laps.
As Boss Gerbil was able to get 5 bids into 13. And there's just battling back there for P11, excuse me. Thomas Death is now on the back of Sweller's. Mastermind already with the 30-second time penalty.
Sweller seems to be struggling a little bit more in these conditions.
Whoa, Thomas got a little bit squirrely, and then Sweller did it just ahead of him.
Now the big question, though, is when will the rain start getting heavier? It looks like it's already getting there. But look at this. Wraith and Veyron, they're closing in. The Mercedes trying to look for a move on the Red Bull. Down the main straightaway they'll go. Down in the turn 12. Wraith goes and covers the inside. the right-hand side. The Mercedes will have to go the long way around in the 12. Does he go for the move? They
Little
squeeze into
contact.
the apex. And running wide goes the Mercedes. But he's going to still try to keep his nose in. Into turn 13, he'll send it down the inside of the Red Bull. They're wheel to wheel once again. Into 14. They're still side by side. Wraith lunges ahead into 15, but will with a switchback go? No, he marks it on the apex. Look at this. The left-hand side will go, but I don't think he'll have enough time or enough traction on the outside of this demo quarter. He does not. He'll stay there, but look at this. He'll go for the move on the inside. He'll switch back again. They're wheel to wheel, but Wraith will stay ahead here in the 19. It's an incredible battle.
Yeah, I was on board with Sweller just watching it unfold, and he must be back here licking his chops saying, come on guys, making mistakes so I can capitalize on this. But these guys are trying their best to keep it on the circuit, doing it very cleanly. As he was actually going to set the fastest lap in P9. As Wraith is going to run wide on the exit of 1, Veyron's going to get a good exit.
So now, where does Veyron try to make this move? Does he have to make the move now, or does he wait a bit?
I think he's telling Wraith, I have pace, let me by, even though we're in opposite cars. And Gerbil's actually going to set the fastest lap now. What a lap by Gerbil.
Gerbil's going to need a little bit of help to get past and into the higher points paying positions after what happened on lap 1. He's now going to be about, well, 31 seconds away from the lead. Speaking of the lead, they may go for the move again. Wraith and Veyron. Mercedes trying to lose that slipstream. He has. To the right-hand side will go once again. He'll take the long way around at 12. Wraith will squeeze him to the right-hand side once again. This time he's alongside even more than he was last time. Off the track goes the Mercedes. This time he won't get a good exit into turn 13, and will stay behind the Red Bull way before than he did last time when they were side by side through this very point. But look at Veyron go down the inside. He'll send it down to the turn 15. He goes a little bit wide, 2 bits deep off the track, and Wraith is going to get the position once again. The Red Bull ahead of the Mercedes, ahead of the Alfa Romeo. Sweller's team is now closing into this, and Tone Lestat not too far behind.
Yeah, Veyron, if it was a dry circuit, he probably would have had that move done, but it is not. It is a wet race. So Veyron trying to make a move that was a bit odd. No, that's not the right word. Risky is the word that was.
Audacious.
Yeah, was it that? Yeah, that was the right word, I guess.
It is audacious.
But nonetheless, goes for the dive, misses the corner, and runs deep, and Wraith gets the position back as he gets a little bit loose on the exit of 1.
Well, now, these three are starting to pull away a tad bit from Tone Lestat. You see a little bit of a gap forming, but Veyron, with that dirty air from that first sector, kind of losing a bit of time to Wraith.
Yeah, and that's another thing. First sector within the dirty air of another car, and with it raining, it's not very easy to negotiate those corners. Yeah, it's never easy to negotiate corners in dirty air behind anybody, so.
I would argue it's difficult to negotiate corners by yourself.
Yeah, this is true.
Tone Lestat closing in at the back of Sweller's team, and he loses a little bit of time in the exit of turn 11. So now a little bit of a gap forming. Veyron tried to close in on Wraith as best he could. The last couple of laps couldn't get past Wraith, and the Red Bull made that car as wide as he possibly could, and it succeeded. But look at this, he goes a little bit deep. Veyron's going to look to the right-hand side, maybe try to look for the move again. No, Wraith goes offensive through 15 this time. That'll compromise his exit. He will get the switchback looking for it. Veyron doesn't get the traction in the exit of 15, though, and Wraith will stay ahead once more into this I said the same thing twice. Istanbul corner. There you go.
I was going to say, are you good?
No, I'm not. Oh, Wraith running wide through 19. That'll compromise his line. His run in the 20. This may be a perfect advantage for Veyron down the main straightaway.
Yeah, he just couldn't get the power down early enough as Wraith is going to go left and back to right. He's going to stay ahead in first place.
Well, they can't get too comfortable because, once again, Sweller's not too far behind. But, you know, if I was Veyron and you're trying to get past Wraith, I'm wanting to get past Wraith before Sweller even has that chance with me.
Yeah, staying on board with Veyron just to see on how well he negotiates Sector 1 compared to anyone else. He lost a little bit of time to Wraith. I believe that was Bashirba with another fastest lap.
Well, due to the nature of the dirty air, I think Wraith right now is the strongest to the first sector. But you see, from first all the way down to sixth with Roscoe tearing out the back of this train, these 6 drivers are within about a second or 2 of each other.
Heatwave and Masterplane are going to go for it into turn 12. Heatwave's going to look on the inside of turn 12. They're both going to leave each other ample amounts of space into the corner. Very nicely done. And overtake by Heatwave into 12. He's going to look after chasing after Kagi Oregano. I just said that sentence completely weirdly. That is a big brain moment.
Mega brain for Redeemer here.
Yep, mega brain.
Lap 6. We're about to be on lap 7. Mozzie grabs a 3-second time penalty. That's the exit of turn 19. That's going to be a lot. And if it does end up drying up, that could be a huge spot for penalties come in the dry, because these drivers are going to have a little bit more of a lenient track limit system with the damp conditions. And by the way, it does look like it's getting a little bit heavier with the rain. So when do we see these guys in for full wets? Do we even see them in for full wets?
I don't think you'll see them in for wets. The Inters can still run in these conditions. They will be significantly slower as the tread is not as rough, I think is the word. No.
Deep, wide, rough. There's a lot of them you could describe.
Yeah, there's a lot of words, yeah. But the wet tires would definitely be significantly better. Was Veyron's going to lock up into turn number 11. He's actually losing more time as Dribble's going to get around Calzone into turn 1. Yeah, Veyron's just losing time.
He is, but so is Swiller and Toneless behind him. So Groggy and Heatwave are now the closest battle on track. Battle for 7th for the Alpine. Trying to hold off the Alpha Tauri down into 12th. Can he hold on? See the rain light blinking in the distance, but will he try to make for the move? He'll look for the move. Backs out of it. He's trying to intimidate Groggy. Look at the speed difference from Heatwave into Groggy. Heatwave really attacked that corner into 12th. He wants to get past the Alpine. He may have a chance right here.
Whoa.
Switch back into the 15. Side by side, Groggy goes a bit wide, trying to leave the AlphaTauri space. Heatwave does get ahead of the Alpine and up to 7th.
That was a nice move. I'll give him props for that one.
So now he'll chase after his teammate. 4.8 seconds in front up the road.
Veyron actually gained 0.2 out of Wraith's gap. 0.3.
Seems like the drivers are now kind of finally getting to a rhythm. Trundling along.
This battle is kind of like shades of Max versus Lewis.
At what track?
All of them?
I don't think this is the battle that would see as Max versus Lewis, right?
But yet they still had a battle at every single circuit almost.
You're not wrong.
Wait till we get to Brazil, as Master Plane's gonna get around Groggy. Was that only getting to 9? No, 10.
Take a look at the positions gained. Veyron closing in the back of Wraith. It's not going to be close enough unless he sends it into the 12, which he does not. Up 5 positions. Heatwave from 12th on the grid. He disqualified for blocking pit lane exit in qualifying. He's up to 7th. Down 1 for Sweller's team. Toneless Death, Roscoe, Masterplane, and DeBiz. Down 2 for Bosch Durbo and Calzone. And by the way, he's almost pushing him to 15.
Yeah, is on board, staying on board. He's going to get the run out of 15 into the 16, 17, 18 complex. He's going to come inside. Ray's going to have the apex into 19. He's going to come back a little bit aggressively. Into 20. Let's see who gets the better exit. It's going to be Wraith at the moment.
This may be a good shot for Veyron.
He's going to lift and he's going to brake early, try not to make a collision with the Red Bull ahead. This Draghi is into the pits.
Draghi pits from 9th. Yes.
I believe that is spring
Is that
damage.
for a new set of inner, or is it for wets?
It is a wing change enters.
There you go. Losing a little bit of time to that first section once again for Veyron. Roscoe grabs a 3-second time penalty. Turbo gets past Groggy, obviously him coming out of the pit lane. And Calzone not too far behind Bosch Turbo.
Oh, wonder. No, not that one. Ooh, Veyron's gas light is on.
He's got him again. Down to the 12th. We'll see what Veyron can do in trying to get closer to the Red Bull. It is absolutely pouring down now.
So, Veyron, Mozzie, Heatwave has a little bit of a moment going into 13, and Calzone all have a yellow fuel light on. That's
Trying to save that fuel.
There it is. I had another brain moment.
Just see, instead of the United States Grand Prix, the Redeemer's Brain Moment Grand Prix.
Yeah, I've had 2 weeks off. Okay, let me get back into the swing of things.
You'll get back there eventually. That's the point. 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings and track extensions. That's now the 3rd driver to grab a 3-second time penalty. So that will be applied once again at the end of their race time. Roscoe's actually closed in a bit on Mozzie. Kind of teetering on the edge of 1 second.
There's the yellow flag for the Biz.
Around the same place he crashed in qualifying. That's the exit of turn 13. That's where he crashed in qualifying turn 14 and 15. See the mini-map on the bottom right. Look at the amount of cars on each side of the track. They're all basically in one train from first all the way down to 6th. Then you have a little bit of a gap to Master Plane, not too far behind Heatwave. And then Heatwave, obviously 5 seconds behind his teammate in the Alpha Tauri. To Biz, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings and track extensions. That will be applied to the end of his race time.
Close.
It will be close with these two. Almost pushing him once again through 13. Almost lost the car.
You go into 15. Wraith is going to get the better exit, but let's see what they do through 16, 17, and 18. Wraith is going to hug the apex. Through 19, Wraith actually gained time through the triple right-hander.
It is absolutely pouring down.
I cannot see... I see a faint racing line, that is it.
Puddles are starting to form. So it could definitely start to be, maybe thinking about intermediate condition. Or not intermediate, full wet condition. I don't know what I'm talking
I was
about.
going to say, you just had a catch a brain moment there.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. This is the 2009 tire.
Is it?
It's still the dries. Yeah.
Okay, if you say so.
Uh-huh. Never doubt me.
I've never said a word of me doubting you. I don't know what you're on about.
I don't want to hear it.
As we head on to the back straight, now Veyron is looking to close the gap in on BRL right ahead. Veyron is on the button, as you can see on his steering wheel. He's going to brake early again.
The Biz pits from 12th.
And
And retires in the pit lane.
that is a man who has had enough of a 11-lap U.S. wet Grand Prix.
To be fair, I don't blame him. We've had 10 laps down, about 18 more to go. We're working lap 11. We're about to complete this lap in a few moments' time. Getting close to that halfway point.
Oh, Rick, did you just have a moment?
No, he actually gained a little bit of time on Veyron.
I thought he had a moment coming out of 18.
No, it was more so aggressively trying to place his car to get the corner. You know how that goes. So, theoretically, by the way, with the tire drop-off almost minimal here, we could see a no-stopper from these drivers from 1st to 8th. Obviously, Gerbil, Calzone, and Groggy all have stopped. So, this may be a race to the end here. Depends on how well their tire saving is. So once again, top 6 or so off separated by about 5 seconds. Everyone behind them kind of closing in as best they can. No stopping for the first top 8. Gerbil had to pit. Same with Calzone. The opening laps for, I believe, wing damage. And obviously a new set of intermediate tires themselves. Groggy pitted not too long ago for a front wing change. Not exactly sure what happened to the Alpine. But right now, it's all trying to find the rhythm. Trying to find that right line. Keep it on the track as it is starting to pour a little bit more. Is it intermediate yet? I'm sorry. Is it full wet yet? I'm losing my mind. Yellow flag. I believe that's an AlphaTauri. Heatwave is around. Masterplane gets past him. Battle for 7th. So now, Heatwave behind Masterplane. Kind of a checkerboard pattern from 6th down to 9th. AlphaTauri, Aston Martin, AlphaTauri, Aston Martin. But Wraith pits from the lead. Does he have a front wing change, or is it just for new intermediate?
No,
it
he's
is
going
just
on
for
to
new
wets.
intermediate. No, it's for wets. It's time.
Masterplane is in as well.
So then, it begins.
He goes on to wets.
So do they bite the bullet here? Do Veyron, Sweller, because obviously the forecast calls for it to dry up a bit and go back to light rain. Do they stay out and bite the bullet here and stay on these intermediates until it's time to go to dries?
And depending on when it's going to dry up, if it starts to dry up, I don't think slicks are going to be the answer.
True, they could possibly, if the intermediates can make it the entire way.
Roscoe's
pretty
closing
much
in on
could stay on
Mozzie.
these
He's going to look on the
intermediates.
outside before turn 12. And he's going to get the move done. Is Mozzie going to find him back? He is. Nice re-overtake there from Mozzie into turn 12 on Roscoe.
Great defense.
That
Just remember, no, he technically didn't re-overtake him if it's still defending, sir. I don't want to hear it. It's also a big race for Mozzie, because he has to outscore his teammate by about 14 points to stay in this championship fight. Right now, as it stands, he will not do so and will be eliminated from championship contention. He actually comes in to stop. So full wets for the Alfa Romeo. Actually, Veyron has gained time on Wraith. The gap coming
Mozzie
out of
goes
pit
on
lane
to
is about
another set of
18.6.
intermediates.
And that may do it.
Because I was on board with Wraith as he came out of, I believe it was 15, and he wasn't really looking that great on these wets.
The intermediates, I do not think, are slower than the full wets. I think right now, I think Veyron has been unleashed.
And just look at the gap he's built already over Sweller's team. In a lap's time, I think it was. Just Gerbil is going to get around his teammate.
But yeah, once again, another second lost from Veyron. By the way, from BRL Wraith, he's down to 20.5
Wraith
seconds behind
misses
him.
the apex into 11.
So, oh yeah, look at the track. I don't think it is enough for full wets yet. I think it kind of halted off a bit. The rain coming down. It still is coming down significantly, but not as hard as it was maybe a couple laps ago.
Yeah, on board with Wraith, he was in 5th gear coming out of 13 into 14. And he's in 5th already before the exit of 15.
Doing the best he can. Trying to, you take these full wets, and it does look like it is not the condition for him. He's already lost another second, almost another 2 seconds to Veyron. Veyron's flying, Wraith is going backwards.
Now we're going to keep my eye on the gap between Wraith and Mozzie. Master Plane is in, I'm assuming, for
intermediates. It's just not worth it on the full wets.
Actually,
and he retires in the pit lane. So Master Plane is done. That means every driver left in the session will grab a point.
Unless they don't reach the halfway point. Or 90% point.
Well, that, yeah, obviously. If they finish the race, they will receive a point. If they don't finish the race, you get nothing. You lose.
Yeah, so Wraith isn't gaining time on Heatwave. He's losing time to Mozzie as he's down to 2.1 now.
I think right now, it's just not the right condition for full wets. Mozzie pitting, though, for intermediates is quite a risky gamble. Did he believe that he couldn't make it on the intermediates? Did he try to pit for wets, but they didn't select? Or does he try to get this little bit of a quicker strategy by pitting and making up that gap?
Can't
we'll
really see any dig on or any wear on any of these intermediate tires at the moment.
Right now, the gap between Veyron and Sweller kind of evening out around about 1.9 seconds or so. Just kind of riding in. We're past halfway. We completed 15 laps, 13 more to go. United States Grand Prix for round 18 of the Breakout Racing League Tier 2 Championship. Right now, Veyron leads, Sweller leads Toneless. Both Alpha Tauris have Roscoe and Heatwave. Wraith 6th. Well, Roscoe now has a 3-second time penalty applied of his name. Mozzie 7th, Gerbil 8th. Calzona pits from 9th. Groggy Oregano may now go to... Calzona retires in the pit lane.
I have no idea what he was trying to do. Because Mozzie is all over the back of Wraith, practically pushing him through turn number 8.
Look at the grip. The grip level from the Alfa Romeo to the Red Bull, even through on entry of that corner, just shows, I think, honestly, the wets are not working too well for Wraith's favor. But look at the gap down into 12. Does Mozzie try to send it? He does try to send it. Keep it side by side with the Red Bull. Still wheel to wheel into 13. Wraith is going to squeeze them all the way to the left-hand side of the track. Mozzie's going to have that little bit more grip because the intermediate tire. But Wraith still holds on. But Mozzie's going to go for the move down into 15. Wraith sweeps around the outside in defense. A little bit of contact, but Wraith holds on.
It's the closest battle on track at the moment.
Right now, Wraith is just hoping it prays and prays that it rains more. That's the only way it really works out for him.
I think Mozzie's just gonna bide his time and wait for the right moment to make this lunge. But he's obviously on the superior tire at the moment, and I think Wraith knows that.
Yeah, Wraith knows it exactly why he's trying to defend it as much as he possibly can, because it very much could be to the end on these conditions. And if it is, Wraith does not want to give Mozzie that upper hand, because Mozzie could definitely go to the end. Wraith, not so much.
Mozzie got a great run through 7 and 8. He's going to get a great run through 10.
He's looking to an 11. Just can't get close enough. He may look for the move. Almost lost the car. A lot of oversteer at the exit of 11. That'll hurt him into 12. Wraith may have, I guess, the perfect amount of gap now. Groggy gets a 3-second time penalty meanwhile.
The gap slowly coming down between Sweller and Veyron.
Oh, look at this. Mozzie down the inside. That was an absolute late lunge. A late lunge, I should say. And around the outside of 13, he will get the grip. Right now, still side by side with the Red Bull. Still there. Still wheel to wheel. On the inside this time. Wraith can't sweep around the outside like he did a lap ago. Mozzie gets past Wraith for 6th.
I think with Mozzie pitting, it's actually as the rain has lightened here. But for Mozzie to pit, it actually gave Sweller a good indication on if he should pit or not. But I think Sweller is going to stay out, as the gap is slowly closing between himself and Veyron.
That gap has kind of been staying there within plus or minus 1.8 seconds. So it's kind of been, like I said earlier, it could just be to the end of the Grand Prix on these tires. And right now, that's probably what Veyron, Sweller, Toneless, Roscoe, and Heatwave all are probably thinking about doing. Heatwave may be under pressure from Mozzie in about a few laps time if Mozzie's tire grips are a little bit more higher, I guess, than the Alpha Tauri of Heatwave. About 7 seconds, the gap between the Alfa Romeo and the Alpha Tauri. But everyone else, I think this is pretty much smooth sailing to the end of the Grand Prix, barring any issues.
Reminds me of that meme from the 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, where they came under Checo's radio and said, "We're looking to hold up Lewis," and it's like striking distance, very easy. And Checo hold him for like, I think, 2.5 laps.
Yes. The funny.
Mozzie actually is closing the gap. Wow, that just went from like 6.2 to like 5.7 in a corner.
Once again, Mozzie's fresher tires, about 14 lap fresher tires to be exact, may be a lot more grip provided that Alfa Romeo than what is had right now in the Alpha Tauri.
Yeah, look at the gap he already has over Wraith behind, so Wraith is going to stay out another lap. Roscoe slowly hunting down Thomas here for P3.
Roscoe, he's not too far away. Actually, the closest car on track to Toneless Death. Battle for the podium could still be on. Remember, Roscoe has that time penalty. Let's take a look at the penalties so far. 6 seconds to Roscoe, 3 to Mozzie, 3 to Groggy. So, with that being said, right now, as it stands, Toneless Death will be the third and final podium sitter with Swellerstein and Veyron, the other two. Gerbil closing into Wraith. What's happened to Wraith? Almost pushing him in the exit of turn 10. Around the outside of 11. Oh, Wraith goes around. Spins off the tire of the Aston Martin and Bosch Gerbil. Gets back going again. Veyron sets the fastest lap. And a 46.2 for him to be exact. So right now, it looks like staying out is the right strategy call. About 9 laps to go left in the United States Grand Prix for round 18 of the Breakout Racing League Tier 2 Championship. And right now, it looks like, as it stands, the podium could very well be cut and dry, barring any other adjustments or changes. Let's see how it plays out. There's still a lot of laps left to go.
Good minute go.
You know what? We could.
I mean, that's your call.
There's nothing stopping us. You want to do it?
I shall invite the man at the moment. Let him invite him.
Go do it.
Where is it?
We need a little bit of...
Right there.
There we go. We'll have a little bit of fun for you guys, because I know this race has not been exactly quite fire-blazing or quite exciting, to say the least. So we'll have a little bit of fun. We'll do something new.
Hey, what's up?
Did you
Might as well get some more entertainment in here. I might as well come
Did you
pop it
include your
along.
audio before you said that?
Yes, I did. I did.
Okay, thank God.
Send them an invite in. We'll have a little bit of fun. We'll go NASCAR style.
Yeah.
3-person booth.
It was bound to happen, really. After this race, it's been kind of boring to watch.
It has. Sweller's team grabs the fastest lap of 46.0.
Oh,
He's
yes.
trying to charge on. He's gained about 2/10 on Veyron.
So Veyron's last lap was a 46.3. Smaller did a 46 flat.
He's 3/10 faster, but look at this. The Alpine of Groggy Oregano trying to close in on Wraith, doing the best he can. The grip level for the Alpine down the inside of 13. He'll get the move stick. And Wraith just right now has no grip and no pace on these wet tires right now. The track is just not up to par for those conditions.
Yeah, ever since he really pitted, it just the conditions really just dried up massively.
He's
Right
actually
after, that's what really ruined it.
It's spun again. I just hit spin. But my brain does not want to function tonight. Holy crap.
I was more gonna get fun
Yeah,
after now.
We have the reinforcements. We're all right.
Yeah.
Wraith pits. Into the pit lane he goes. Probably get off of those full wet tires and probably onto the intermediate tires. It's just not what he needs for his championship. Sweller,
What if
he
I
is
told you you were not
delighting
the
this. That would have been depressing. But look at this. Speaking of Sweller, he's gained in about 3/10 again on Veyron.
Is the Swaller actually finding pace in these inners later on in the stint? I think Veyron is actually trying to make it to the end. His fuel light is still on. Heat waves is still on. Oh, there's a battle going on. Ozzy and Heat wave. Ozzy's gonna start
really
another
making
purple
moves.
sector too. Ozzy's gonna look for the inside of 15. He is. He's
Wow.
gonna send it. Can't get the traction down, but they're gonna stay side by side. Oh boy. Ozzy lost a little bit of grip into 16. Has to back out of it, recuperate for the attack up into turn 1, almost hitting back 8 wave into turn 20. As
wants
Roscoe
to
is
make this
actually
move now.
flirting with the 1 second range. So both
As
Alpha
he is. Look at
Tauris.
Mozzie. Wait a minute. Do you think Mozzie just went offline to get a little bit of wet, I guess a little bit of puddles, a little bit of water in his intermediates to cool them down?
I mean, it's very possible.
Almost look like it, to be honest.
We possibly could see an interchangeable period coming, but I don't think it'll be enough for the drivers to pit for slicks.
Or with 6 laps left? No. Wait, 5. Numbers.
You were right the first time.
What's that?
No, actually, you're
No, it is
wrong.
5.
It's 7.
Uh,
Look at Mozzie down the inside of 11, off the track, and that'll be a little bit of a warning that could possibly be looked at. But he has a 3-second time penalty regardless. Heatwave does not. They're going to go wheel to wheel down the main straightaway. Down into turn 12 they go. Mozzie gets behind the Alpha Tauri. Down into turn 12 once again. He'll go to the left-hand side, late braking. for the AlphaTauri. The Mozzie kind of keeps his nose in there. They're still side by side. They're wheel to wheel through 12. They're going to be side by side in the 13. Heatwave breaks later and holds on to the position once more.
And Mozzie
Heatwave putting up a great defense. Wow.
Mozzie's going to send it
Oh,
on
look
the
at this,
inside
Mozzie
15
down.
again. Oh, a little bit of contact.
Easy.
Gotcha.
Toneless Death has pitted from from third. He's going to new set of intermediates. Interesting.
That begs the question of tire wear.
Can they make it? We've seen punctures in the final lap of a wet American Grand Prix. Remember, 2 seasons ago, in Tier 1 of Season 5, we had a driver had a puncture on the final lap. Look at Mozzie down the inside. Oh, no! Heatwave and Mozzie go around. Heatwave saves it. Mozzie has to cut the track and grabs a 5-second time penalty for corner cutting. That's now put his time penalty up to 8.
His Wraith is around. Off, excuse me.
Turn 15.
So the race for the pole are not going the way he would have liked.
Not at all. Are you actually in the session, Nico?
What?
Are you in the session?
No, I'm watching it from Twitch.
Redeemer, that was your job here.
It's only like a couple seconds behind. I can live with it.
You just told me to invite him to the party, gosh.
Yeah, and invite him to the game too. God.
Fine.
What are we? What are we? Napoleon Dynamite today?
Yes.
Oh, God.
You know, fire me if you wish. I don't care. I go find Mary the pizza.
I mean, to be fair,
you
if we
getting
saw
paid?
what happened last week, then this would have been better.
You're getting paid?
I mean, it's only moral
Yeah,
support, I think, but can't go fire me. I love you. I'm sorry. As Mozzie is back on the back of Heatwave, I did not. Oh, God.
That didn't last long.
Nope. I cannot
Someone
English.
took
My
his
brain
brains out.
is. Yeah. I'm blaming work because I went to work yesterday and that was my typical day off. Mozzie's gonna get the traction out of 20. Heatwave's gonna dive left. He's gonna dive back to the right. Mozzie, don't send it this time. Don't cause a collision. Oh my gosh.
Oh, almost. He does top the back of him. A little bit of a
Twice!
bump and run. Oh, and almost turns him. On the exit of 1.
Boss Dribbles here. Okay. What a comeback drive from Boss Dribble, though.
He has a chance for 5th. Can he get it?
Gonna have to try and get past Heatwave first if he wants to try that. He can say on the back of Mozzie all he wants. If he's not past, if he's not past Heatwave faster, it's not gonna happen.
Mozzie
The way
almost
Mozzie's
got a
been
little
battling
bit
Heatwave.
loose.
The way Mozzie's been battling Heatwave, I don't think it may
Dribble's
not
gonna
last too
send it
long.
down
But look
the
at this.
inside.
Dribble down the inside. Turn 11. He'll get that move momentarily, but look at the traction from the Alfa Romeo. They'll go wheel to wheel once more. And the Aston Martin will actually pull ahead of the Alfa Romeo momentarily. A little bit of a slipstream advantage to the Aston Martin. Down once again in the 12. Who holds on? Even braking. Hitting Swellersteam. I said we could possibly see.
Roscoe is in.
It's time.
DRS
And DRS is enabled. That is why Softs slicks on for Swellersteam. Ray 3-second time penalty. Veyron may try to hold this out.
Thomas is
Can they make
in again.
Or last on inters on a drawing track. That is going to be a very difficult task. With the fact that he's also low on fuel still.
Well, looking at the track, it still looks wet enough that he maybe could stay out for another lap or 2 before the Softs really get too, I guess, overpowered in a sense. No, correction. Swellersteam's gained 3/10 in about 3 seconds.
Oh.
Mozzie stayed LS. That's a head
Well,
scratch.
this has changed everything.
Don't see this playing out for Mozzie and Veyron if
Well,
Sweller
Sweller
is as much as he is.
Yeah.
And the rain is fully stopped, by the way.
Yes,
This
it
is like,
has.
this is shades of Tier 4 qualifying.
because the pit lane delta you gain about, you lose, I should say, 18.6 seconds. Right now, that is the gap between Veyron and Sweller. That is 17.5.
Out on the enters as well.
Wraith has nothing to lose.
Purple sector 2 for Sweller. That just pretty much proves it.
Yeah, look at the gap. It was 18 seconds going into turn 12. Now it's 16-2. And Veyron is in.
Veyron comes in.
He's got a puncture.
He has a puncture.
Ooh.
The puncture on the right front. I said watch out for it. Well, that's why. So he's going to be a puncture. That's maybe why he lost a little bit of time. Sweller's team is going to take the lead of the United States Grand Prix.
Well, that's just going to help him championship.
Definitely.
Veyron's going to retain P2.
Well,
By the way, you have to feel for Veyron here.
Sweller.
Because if it finishes how it is, and it very well could change, but if it does finish how it is, this will be the 4th straight second place for Veyron.
it might not be, though, because remember, Veyron, that fuel, it's still yellow. Who knows if he's going to be able to make it to the flag without running out of fuel.
Was yellow, wasn't he? Heatwave's light is off.
Well, he has a 10.5 second gap to Roscoe.
Oh, right this round.
Yeah, Inters definitely are not to play at the moment.
So this will be a crucial blow to Wraith's championship. As it stands, Sweller's team is going to gain 23 points. Not counting fastest lap, 24 if he does.
Hard to tell who's purpling what because everyone coming through the sectors is purpling.
Back evolution. You should know this.
Well, you know, it's on an outlap. How is a man gonna purple a sector game? Come on.
Again, track evolution.
Sweller's team goes professional fastest lap, and yes, I'm going to say that because we could possibly say a lot of those being put up. 37.8. Now if we have a 37.7.
It's
like a battle for pole.
Yeah, exactly. Battle for pole all over again. A 36
27 laps. Toneless. Wow.
Let's see what Heatwave can do.
This doesn't prove my point. I don't know what does.
Heatwave and
There
then
it is.
Gerbil. Wow, okay. But also, crucially, Gerbil does have DRS, so he might also snag this.
That's true. DRS is also enabled.
Just watching Veyron right now, seeing, I'm not entirely sure how much fuel he has left. It's really going to be the crucial thing right now. If he can even make it without running out of fuel right now, well, actually, it's close.
Speaking of close, Gerbil and Heatwave still fighting it out. This is a battle for 5th position. Gerbil will get DRS this time.
Oh, he's really
wide,
close.
actually, for Heatwave. Yes, he will. He's going to go defensive very early, trying to break that slipstream. He's going to go. Look at this, though. The DRS, the ERS, the slipstream to the right-hand side. He's going to go for this. He's going to get it well before the braking zone. Does Heatwave fight it back? No, he doesn't. Gerbil up to 5th, and Sweller with the fastest lap.
Definitely not going to last long, though.
No, that
And
goes
there you go.
Veyron.
Yeah.
Prove my point.
Roscoe, hang on,
We're now on the
Roscoe.
final lap of the Grand Prix.
No, Roscoe
I'd
can't
say
do
so.
anything about it.
Can I just say something real quick, though? To make things even worse for Wraith, he's lapped.
Oof.
That is true.
Gotta feel for him, man.
Homeless with a 35
Oh.
one Gerbil.
Oh, no! Wraith goes off. I thought that was going straight for the barriers, but he keeps it going again.
Salt onto the wound for the Red Bull.
Okay. We're gonna let that one go.
Yeah.
What was the fastest lap before that lap was? It was the 35-1, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 34-3, okay. You got my vote.
That just shows Gerbil's face.
I mean, I don't care what the game says. I'm giving driver of the day to Gerbil. for the early contact and spin on lap 1 to fight back to P5, I mean, that's props.
Well, speaking of props, this man, Swellerstein, in the Alfa Romeo, going into this race was 42 points ahead of Wraith. He needed to grab any momentum going into Mexico. Well, now he'll grab all the momentum going into Mexico. He'll score not only a win of the United States Grand Prix, but his 5th of the season, tying him with Wraith. Well, going into Mexico, he'll go and extend that gap. Swellerstein wins the United States Grand Prix. Veyron, 5.5 seconds back. What could have been? It is now his 4th straight second place finish and his 4th straight podium in Tier 2. Roscoe comes on to finish 3rd. Toneless Death around turn 20 he goes. From 3rd to 4th, he'll grab some good points and the fastest lap at 33.7 to do so as well.
I did not expect the track to really to dry up, if anything. I expected it to just go west at the end, and that didn't happen. Drove across the line in P5, heat wave in P6, close at the end, but Gerbil with the comeback drive, so well done to the Aston Martin.
Yeah, Mozzie, the other Alpha coming out of the final corner. He's actually, did he? Was that?
I think he did.
Yeah, he did, the 33.
He did.
Oh.
Mozzie gave it all he could, but with his result and Swellerstein, his teammate, winning, he is eliminated from championship contention. That leaves 6 rounds to go. 6 drivers left to win this thing.
Wow. That's all I got. Just wow.
Well, this race turned itself upside down. Heatwave grabs grabs the driver of the day. He went from 12th to 6th. Well, it could go that way or it could go Gerbil. Regardless, they both had a great drive. But this man, Swellerstein in the Alfa Romeo, 5 wins on the season, a championship gap of around 66 points. Into Mexico, he has one hand on the trophy.
I'm going to go ahead and invite 3rd and 2nd and driver of the day.
I have a plan. I won't say it yet, but I have a plan.
No, go ahead and say it. Now I'm intrigued.
Well, I can't say it yet because, well, Swellerstein has won once again his 5th race of the season, tying him on wins with Wraith and extending his championship gap. Veyron finishes 2nd on the podium for his 4th straight time and his 4th straight 2nd place. When will he get that 1 place higher? When will he get that first victory in Tier 2? Roscoe finishes on the podium in 3rd. Toneless Death 4th. Butch Gerbil in 5th. TTM Heatwave grabs 6th and the driver of the day. We'll hear from him shortly. Mozzie in 7th. He is once again eliminated from championship contention, along with BRL tweaking as well, as he cannot tend today. He is also eliminated. Rocky Regano in 8th position. BRL Wraith in 9th. What could have been? He's now lost out a little bit more than he really wanted to on that championship lead from Swellerstein. We have lost Cal Zoner, Masterplane, and DeBiz, all from the United States Grand Prix. Midway through, we thought it was a little bit of a doozy. It turned into a very good race at the end of it.
I guess I wasn't needed to be brought in after all. If it was going to end like that, okay. But I'm here anyways, so hi. That happened. Anyway, moving on.
Well, here's the plan. And you can get actually utilized here. We can give Redeemer 2nd and 3rd, and we'll give you driver of the day.
That's fair.
See?
Yeah.
Big brain here.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I wouldn't say big brain, but we'll go with
Oh, okay. Shut up, Mr. No Brain.
yeah, you can't talk right now.
No, see,
right.
I can talk. It's just if my brain wants me to function.
You can talk, you just can't speak, apparently. Okay.
Nah, this is
Potato.
All right.
Tomato,
We'll go ahead.
tomato.
There it is. We'll go ahead to driver of the day. Minico, take us off.
That I will do. Thank you very much. Heatwave. From being disqualified from coming out of the pit lane to doing only 1 stop in this race. And, well, that was crucial enough to grab you P6 and driver of the day. Tell us, what was your race like? And going from last to a top 6?
Yeah. I ended up getting disqualified because my wheel disconnected, but I was fine with it because there wasn't that many people here to begin with. It ended up just being damage limitation because my tires were at 90% before the crossover time, so that really helped me. And in the end, I just couldn't keep up with Gerbil. And yeah,
Yeah, it might have been an up and down race for you nonetheless. But still, you managed to grab a decent haul of points after what that was. Next week, though, we go over to the Mexican Grand Prix. What are your thoughts?
I really like Mexico, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm pretty sure I got like a podium last time out in Tier 3 last season, so I'm looking forward to it. Might get a win there if I practice enough.
We'll just have to wait and see in just a week's time, but nonetheless, congratulations. Driver of the day, starting from last to top 6. And well done to you. And now we will move on to P3. Redeemer, take it away for Roscoe.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make sure to double check that you guys have your audio included, which Michael failed to ask you guys that. Roscoe,
Yes,
nonetheless,
I do.
you started, I believe it was 8th.
No, a bit higher, 6th, I think. Oh, but either 5th or 6th, one of the two.
I can't. Regardless, it was quite a turn of events as the race went from inters to a heavy rain, and you stuck it out on the intermediate tires, and then it started to let up and turn dry, and you pit, I believe, with Sweller Steam, and you finished the race in P3. Congratulations on the podium, and just walk us through your race.
Yeah, I didn't think it was an all too bad race. I didn't want to do anything too stupid too early on. I think I lost the place to fellow Aussie Mozzie early on, so I wasn't too worried about it early on. But yeah, no, just hopefully keeping up with the top 5 anyway. Just try and keep with those guys. And I thought somebody in that group would maybe try and go onto the west because there was talk of the heavy rain in about the middle part of the race, and obviously Raph did better, obviously, which it didn't turn out well for him, unfortunately. So I felt like I just had to stick it out. Like whatever the top guys were doing, I just felt just stick it out as long as I could. Then I think it was Mozzie came in about midway through the race, put on a set of inters. So I just kept going, caught up with Toneless. I think he was, I don't know whether his tyres were just dead or something or what, but he obviously pitted, I think, a couple of laps too early before obviously the dries came in. But once I saw one of the top 2, obviously it was Sweller, come in for the softs, I thought, that bingo, that's the moment. You got to go in and get onto the soft converter tyres. Whether I didn't get past Mayron in the end because there was too much of a gap anyway. But as long as I kept in front of Toneless, because obviously the 6 seconds of penalties that didn't really help things. But no, actually, I'm very, very, very happy with the race overall.
Yeah, nonetheless, great result for you and the team. We go to Mexico next week. Any thoughts or comments?
Well, last season in Tier 3 as well, I got disqualified because of too many time penalties. But so I'm hoping to avoid that as much as I can. But I feel like I've got some decent pace around Mexico as well. So hopefully, I think for AlphaTauri's sake, we can put on, myself and Heatwave, we can put on a good show around Mexico. So I can't wait.
Yep, and neither can I as we move on to Veyron. Again, congratulations, Roscoe. Veyron, please make sure your audio is included, and congratulations on P2 in the race. Started a little further down the field, and had a great start and made your way back up the field, and you were fighting for P1 with Wraith in the beginning of the stint, and then you just kind of dropped back. And then he pit for wets, and then you just commanded the race until the switchover point. Walk us through your race and your thoughts.
It was a very well executed race in terms of strategy and keeping up with my fellow drivers and managing the gap with Sweller and not getting a penalty. I definitely had really good pace in the wet, more than what I was expecting. But yeah, everything went well except for just Sweller either being a genius with his timing for pitting or just being really lucky. And that's what ultimately got me, as he was able to undercut me. And yeah, I was also lucky not to pick up a puncture sooner, because on my in lap I was at high 80s or whatever, lap 23 or 4 or so. And I actually got a puncture as I was pulling into the pits. So that was quite lucky. I also did well managing my fuel, because I heavily underfueled the car with the rain coming. But yeah, overall it's a good race. I was glad I was able to give Sweller a run for his money, but unfortunately the timing for the crossover from inters to dries is what cost me the victory.
Yeah, nonetheless, you still got P2 in the race. We go to Mexico next week. Any thoughts, comments on next week for the race?
I would say I'm more confident at Mexico than I am at Suzuka and USA. Mainly because I'm usually pretty good at managing the penalties there, and I know that's a big problem at Mexico. So yeah, hopefully I'll be up near the front end of the field again, but we'll see. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep, and neither can I. I'm pretty sure Catcher cannot wait either. Catcher and Miko, do either of you have any comments to add or ask?
I do not.
No, we're good.
Awkward
All right,
silence.
that's okay. Uh-huh.
We expected you to say something.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's going to end it for tonight, folks. Make sure you tune into Tier 1. Hey, you know
Hold up, wait a minute.
Hold up. Back up. Catch it, take it away.
You're trying to take my job.
Yeah, man.
Mr.
You know, I gotta try to
Congratulations.
promote myself somehow. Come on.
Congratulations to our podium sitters, but that will do it from our action on track for Tier 2 in the Breakout Racing League, round 18 of 24, and the United States Grand Prix. But don't go anywhere. In about 30 minutes' time, Tier 1 takes their United States Grand Prix to the track, and the Circuit of the Americas will play host for round 18 of the Tier 1 Xbox Championship. We can't wait for that. It'll be fun to see. For myself and Mitchie, oh yeah, we're back, baby. We'll have some fun calling that action from you. But if you don't like Formula 1 racing, that's completely fine. Tomorrow on 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, ACC takes it to their next round. And on Monday, ACC Tier 2 will take their round on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern also. On Wednesday, we have Formula 2 at the Mexican Grand Prix. Thursday, we have Realistic at the Mexican Grand Prix. And then Tier 3 and Tier 4 on Friday at 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And back here, same place, same time, same drivers for the Mexican Grand Prix, round 19 of 24. The time is running out. The clock is ticking. Can Wraith hold on and try to catch Sweller? Or will Sweller just pull away? We'll have to find out for myself once again. Hey, Katra, LDR Redeemer, and surprisingly, Minico. I'm just kidding. That was funny. But and the rest of the Breakout Racing League Tier 2 Championship, we say thank you for watching and good night.